Hello and welcome to the Snickerdoodle Knits YouTube channel. I am Jessica, the knitting pattern designer and design coach behind Snickerdoodle Knits and Pattern Design Circle, and I'm so excited to be here chatting with you about this In a Mood cowl. It is my most recent pattern release, and in this video I'll be talking all about all of the details. So one of the fun things about the In a Mood series, there's three patterns in the collection. There's the In a Mood shawl, In a Mood scarf, and In a Mood cowl. And the whole idea of all of them is that it is a choose your own adventure style. So you get to choose which stitches you work, how often you work them, how long your project is, what weight of yarn you use. All of that information is all up to you and your mood. So you can knit it in any yarn weight. The pattern, I've included the yarn recommendations for like the amount of yarn you would use and the gauge and needle recommendations for fingering weight and for DK weight. If you'd like a weight between the two, you choose a needle size between the two. If you'd like a weight larger, you can just increase your needle size for a larger yarn weight. And then of course you can always, in any pattern, play with the kind of texture you want in your fabric, the density that you want. So if you really want a thick fabric or a loose drapey fabric, you can play with that anytime. The main reason, this is going to become a teaching course, I'm sorry. The main reason, time to not play with the gauge is when you need it to be a very specific size for something like a sweater. Then you want to make sure you get the gauge, or at least have done the math to compensate for your new gauge. But anyway, the cowl, you're welcome to use any yarn weight you'd like. I have also included inside of the pattern a yarn equivalencies chart. So if you have a bunch of scrap yarns you want to hold together and you're not sure what the yarn weight actually is, I have that in the pattern. And then I have included instructions for 3 sizes. However, I've also included information on how to make it bigger or smaller if you'd like. For the cowl, that information is primarily for the cast on number. So this is the large size, and so I provide the cast on number and the recommended length for how tall to make that for your size. But again, it is completely up to your mood, how long you want to keep knitting, how big you want to make it. The In a Mood series includes the 4 same stitches. So we have simple lace, we have drop stitches, we have garter, and we have garter rib inside out. And so all of the patterns are just a combination of that. If you don't like the simple lace, you don't have to work any of the simple lace. If you love the drop stitches, you can make your cowl primarily drop stitches. Inside of the pattern, I give you instructions on how to go ahead and choose which stitch motif you want to work, how those all work together. With the cowl specifically, you can change as often as you'd like. There is no particular row repeat or round repeat. And I provide, so that's the idea of choosing your own adventure. You're welcome to go with your mood and in the flow of what you're in the mood for. However, I do know that several folks like to have a pattern to follow. They're not quite comfortable with just following their mood. So I do also have 9 pattern instructions inside of the pattern, or rather recipes of just repeats you can follow to create a design that you love. That includes, so I have say you only want to work garter and drop stitches, I give you instructions on that. I also include the specific recipe or pattern that I made when I created this. So as you can see, it's just a repeat of those stitches, not necessarily in the same order. And let's see. Okay, so I mentioned I have the information for fingering weight and DK weight inside of the pattern. This sample is DK weight. Like I said, it is the large size. It really is reversible if you want to wear it top down or bottom up. This is actually the bottom for my sample. And I even saw one tester was preferring hers inside out. So if you prefer that side, go for it as well. I have a blog that will be linked down below this video with yarn and color recommendations. This is hand dyed Diva DK weight, and this is Madeline Tosh DK weight. So I've included on there a couple of different color combinations as well as just one color options. And of course you are also more than welcome to use what you have in your stash too. The technique level, it's relatively simple. The simple lace is going to be the most complex, but I think it's SK2Ps and yarn overs. So, and it's a repeat of four stitches over four rounds maybe. I don't remember, 6 rounds maybe. So it's actually pretty simple to memorize and not that complex. I have in all of my patterns a tutorial linked to the techniques that are in there. So like I have the bind off linked in the pattern and like stuff like that as well, and I'm always happy to provide yarn support. So the pattern is available on Ravelry, Lovecrafts, Etsy, and my website. I will have the website information page linked down below, so that's where you can read a little bit more about the stories about the design and find the links to purchase the pattern. If you have any questions, go ahead and drop those down in the comments. More than happy to help you out, and I hope you absolutely love knitting according to your mood, your next cowl project.